Hello, thank you so much for clicking on my video. Welcome to my channel, All Things Lovely. My name is Jenny, and on this channel I do product reviews, hauls, self-care tips, beauty tips, and much, much more for the mature woman. If this is something you're interested in, hit the subscribe button and don't forget the notification bell because that's how you're going to be reminded when I upload a video. So I am hoping you will spend just a little bit of your day with me. I am going to be talking about my favorite makeup brands. So when I say my favorites, I'm talking about the products that I use on a daily basis. Now I do have a nice collection of different brands, from your high-end to your drugstore brands, but for this video I narrowed it down to the products that I use on a daily basis. The foundations, powders, eyeliners, and primers that I pick up and use day to day. So also in this video, I'm going to keep it basic and I'm going to talk about my primers. I'm going to talk about foundations, powders, eyeliners, and my eyeshadow palettes that I love and use. So as we go through each section, and when I say section, I mean I'm going to start off with the primers, then I'm going to go to the foundations, and so on. So as we go through each section, I'm going to talk about what I look for when I'm looking for that product and why those are my top primers. When I am searching for a primer, I am definitely looking for something that goes on really smooth. I gravitate towards primers that has like pore eraser or pore minimize because I like to see that film, really soft white film over my face before I apply my makeup because it lets me know my skin is protected. I pat my primer in and I let it dry before I move on and applying my makeup. So even before moving to primers, you're going to start off with a clean face. I do have a skincare routine and I'm going to link that video in the description box below because that is so important. If your skin is not clean or you are experiencing a breakout that hasn't been treated, your makeup is not going to look so good. So always start off with a clean face. If I'm experiencing a breakout, I like to make sure that I treat that breakout and then I protect my skin. And that's where all of that skincare routine come in, using your sunscreen, using your moisturizer, and applying your primer before applying your makeup so that you can make sure you're not interfering with that breakout improving. And so a tip that I do is when I am experiencing a breakout, I gravitate towards my powder foundations instead of my cream foundation. I will apply my primer, use my concealer, and then I will use my powder foundations. It's more light and it's not so heavy, and it's allowing that breakout to breathe and improve. And I just wanted to share that tip with you. So now I'm going to share with you my favorite primer. Here's my 5 favorite primers. And so I do have a nice collection of primers over there, but though I'm always picking up products because I'm always looking for something that may work better. But sometimes I try those out, and if it don't give me the same results, I put it to the side and I'll try to work with them again later. But I am busy, and so I need to get my makeup applied and get on with my day, and I need my makeup to look great and last long. So I gravitate to these 5 primers because I know that they're going to do the job. My skin is older. I don't have that same young skin, so some products may not work out for me. So these primers are the primers that's working for my skin, and it is working with the makeup products that I use. So on a day-to-day basis, I like to grab my Marc Jacobs primer because this primer, it has that nice soft feel that I like to it. It minimizes my pores because I experience large pores around my nose area, and so I always pat my primer in. So as I'm patting this primer in, it is drying into the look that I am looking for to apply my makeup. So that's why I like the Marc Jacobs. Another primer I'm going to share with you, which is actually new to my collection. I've been grabbing this one for the last couple of months, and this one is the Soap and Glory, the 5-4 3-in-1 Oil Control Serum Primer. All of these primers I'm sharing to you have that same kind of feel and texture, and I was actually surprised. This one is a drugstore brand. My Marc Jacobs is more on the high-end brand, and I do pick this one up from Sephora. So from my local drugstore, the rest of these primers, I get them from there. And I absolutely love this one. This one does control the oil. It has a nice soft feel to it, and my makeup looks great with it. Now here's my favorite. I think I said I didn't have a favorite, but I do. All of these work the same, but it's something a little different about this Neutrogena Prep Correct Primer. This one, it has the same feel to it, but it's something about when I apply this before I apply my makeup. This one is a tone corrector. So it seemed like it's toning out my dark spots, and when I apply my makeup, it seemed to just apply so easy. So I'm going to say the Neutrogena Prep Correct Primer is my favorite. Then we're gonna go to these two, which are my oldie but goodies, and that's this Maybelline Baby Skin and this the Pore Professional. These two, did I say the Pore Professional? Is the Pore Professional. These two primers are pretty much the same. They have the same feel, and as you can see, I've been using these because they're just my oldie but goodies. They have the same feel. They both instantly minimize your pores. Your skin feels good. These are the two that I use if I am experiencing a breakout. So if I'm experiencing a breakout and I'm only going to use my powder foundation, I gravitate towards these two primers because once I apply them, my skin looks good. I add my concealer, go on with my powder. It looks just as good as if I'm using my cream foundations. So these two are my oldie but goodies, but all 5 of these are I'm going to share with you my top 5 foundation. Yes, let's get into it. So when I'm looking for foundations, I am looking for well, I like different looks. So some foundations I want to have that radiant glow. It depends on where I'm going to be. Sometimes I like that photo ready makeup or that matte look. So these 5, I'm fine with whatever look it gives me. These are the makeups that I like to use day to day because I'm happy with the look. I do have a really large makeup collection because trust me, I didn't try all makeups on the high end as well as on the drugstore brand, but when it comes to makeup, I am just looking for what looks good on my aging skin, okay? And so these foundations, I can grab either one of these and I'm fine with the look it's going to give me. Now I am not so much looking for full coverage. I would take a buildable makeup because I have a really basic makeup routine. So later I will share with you a video on how I apply my makeup. So the reason why I don't too much need full coverage is because yes, I do not contour. Now, I can contour, and if I'm going to a wedding or a big event, then I would do all of that layering of products. Day to day, I just need my makeup to look good. And so if I do not use a full coverage makeup, when I get to that contouring area, yeah, I just don't apply so much, and that way I can get the illusion that I contoured. I know there are so many great videos out there where you could see the whole effect of so many layering of the products. My skin is aging, it's not young anymore, and I just do not need so many different layers. But if you do, I can do a video because I can do all of the layering. Just don't do it on a day-to-day basis because I don't have the time and I just need a really basic look. As far as 3 foundations, it's more on the high-end side, and I do pick these up from Sephora or Ulta Beauty. One of the things I like to see with my makeup brands is I like to see a large range of shade choices. First of all, kudos to the makeup brands who put out a large range so that we can find the makeup that fits our complexion. We all be needing the same formulas for makeups because we experience the same things. Our skin age, we experience hyperpigmentation, and we just need to get our shade choice. So some makeup brands, I have this really small range of shade choices, and it's like, I need that because I need that formula or I need that treatment that's in that makeup, but I can't get it because it doesn't have my color match. So the makeup brands that I am sharing with you today cater to all of our skin complexion, and that is just something I want to see. So I'm going to start off first with this Becca Skin Love Weightless Blur Foundation. Absolutely love it. But sad to say that Becca is discontinuing their brand after the pandemic. They just, I guess, couldn't recover. So I'm sad to hear that. I do have another bottle of this. And so since I like to have 5 of everything to choose from day to day, I'm going to go through my makeup stash and see if it's something I want to revisit or maybe look for another product. But I'm sad to see Becca go because this was a really great skin match, and I actually love that blur effect that it gave. It kind of blurred out those hyperpigmentation, and I really love that makeup. The next one is this Morph, and this is the Filter Focus. I like this because this looks good on camera when I'm taking photos or when I'm filming. I don't gravitate to this one as much because it's more matte than I desire, but once I add my concealers and my other products, it kind of do look great, so I'm okay with it, but it's just not the first thing that I go to. It's this Smashbox 15-hour wear hydrating foundation. I love foundations that help hydrate the skin. I like foundations that have like SPF 50 in them or any kind of blemish treatment. I love foundations that's going to help my aging skin because those foundations tend to work on your skin and it has treatments in it, so it work on any blemishes or any type of breakouts that you may have. So I do like foundations that have those. Our drugstore brand foundations, and I absolutely love these, and I'm actually wearing one of them today, and that one is this L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation, and this has the SPF 50. I absolutely love this one. I've been gravitating towards this one a little bit more. Like I say, I'm wearing it today. I think it is age perfect like it says. I wore it yesterday. I'm sure I'm going to wear it tomorrow because I have somewhere to go. I just think it's great, and for a drugstore brand, the formula is fantastic, so I highly recommend. L'Oreal actually have some really good products, so I'm not surprised that I'm loving this one. So yes, this one is actually my first one that I grabbed. Another one that I like, and that is the Neutrogena Skin Clearing Oil-Free Makeup, and I love that this has that blemish treatment in it. Okay, this is another favorite. Now I have to say Neutrogena color match isn't so great. They do have a nice size range, but not so good. But what makes this is okay is because when I get to one of my concealers, one of my favorite concealers is by Neutrogena. So what I do is I use this shade, and I got a darker shade concealer, and I actually swap them. So I use the concealer as the foundation, and I use the foundation as the concealer, and everything looks great. I'm going to share with you my 5 favorite concealers. When I'm looking for concealers, I'm definitely looking for that creamy texture. I apply most of my concealers under my eye, and so I don't want anything too dry, because if it apply dry, it's going to end up dry. It's going to cause creasing, and it's just not going to look good by the end of the day. So I'm looking for that full coverage because it is going under my eye, so I want to make sure it's covering any dark circles, and I want that really creamy texture so that it can blend well and kind of moisturize under my eye instead of drying my under eye out. Because after you set your concealer with your powders that you're going to use, you just want to make sure that everything stays nice and set in place. Now, creasing is something that you can't eliminate altogether, but you can minimize it. So these concealers that I'm sharing with you today, they do the job for me, and I'm happy with how they end up as the day go on. And the first one I'm going to share with you is this Becca Ultimate Coverage Concealer, which was my favorite, but like I said earlier, Becca is discontinuing their products. So I do have a nice collection of concealers over there, so I can keep my favorite 5. I am going to dig through those and just see which one of them that I would like to revisit, or maybe I'll just go look for a newer product. Is Makeup Revolution, and I do pick this one up from Ulta Beauty because I cannot pick this one up at my local drugstore, but I've seen some people on some videos say that they were able to pick this one up at their local drugstore. I haven't seen it in mine yet. I absolutely love this one. This one is actually a dupe to another concealer that I used to use. I believe it's Tarte. I am just not able to remember which one, but I started using this because I used to use another brand, and this was equivalent to that, but it was a lot cheaper. But this one is really good. The texture of this is really nice. It's nice and creamy, and it goes on really good. I like to let my concealers dry a little bit before I start blending them. And what I like is that this one doesn't dry too tacky, because I like it to get a little tacky so that when I blend it, it stays in that eye area. But this one have the perfect texture when I let it dry a little bit. So I'm going to probably always use this Makeup Revolution concealer. Now we're going to move on to my favorite drugstore brand. For some reason, the drugstores has been doing really great on products for the last couple of years. And so my go-to favorite is the Super Stay Full Coverage Under Eye Concealer by Maybelline. I have been using this one for a while. This is really good. This is just like a go-to. If I am in the drugstore, I pick up a tube of this. Absolutely love it. Perfect for my under eye, perfect for my aging skin. Really great color match. Then we're going to go on with my Neutrogena. Like I said earlier, this one is pretty dark. So like I said earlier, I use this Neutrogena concealer only when I'm using that Neutrogena makeup, because the shade of the foundation does not really match my shade, so I have to swap the two. I have to use this for the makeup, and I have to use the foundation for the concealer. But when I do that, everything looks great. The formula in both of these products are fantastic, but Neutrogena, you may want to brighten your colors a little bit more. Otherwise, I absolutely love the products. Share with you my favorite eyeshadow palettes, because I absolutely love eyeshadow. I always wear eyeshadow. When I'm looking for eyeshadow, I'm definitely looking at an eyeshadow that have less fallout. I know you're going to experience some fallout in all eyeshadows, but I want to make sure it's not so much eyeshadow fallout. If it does fall out, I can always clean it up, but I do like to have as least fallout as I can. I'm also looking for pigmentation. I want to make sure that the eyeshadow, the way it looks on the palette, that it do transfer over to my eye and you can see some color. I don't like it when it looks one way on a palette and then when you apply it to your eye, you have to keep building and building it to see the color. So those are the two things that I'm looking for when I am choosing my eyeshadow palette. And I'm also looking for long wear. I have been through so many eyeshadow palettes over the years, and sometimes you can find one, you can apply your eyeshadow and you won't see it after hours. So these are my favorite eyeshadow palettes that I'm going to share with you. There are tons and tons of eyeshadow palettes. I absolutely have more in my stash, and I do switch out here and there because eyeshadow is one of those things that you can find a really good eyeshadow palette here and there. These are just the ones that I'm currently using now because I do like the colors that's in them. And one of my favorite palettes is by the Anastasia, and this one is really pretty. And so it has these colors in there, and I don't know if you can see them really good, but I love all of these different shades. Anastasia palette is more on the high end side because I do pick that up from Ulta Beauty, or you can actually get that from like Marshalls or TJ Maxx. I just haven't never seen it in any drugstore. The next one is more on the high end side as well, and this is the Morph palette, and this is the Ring the Alarm collection by Jackie Hill. I love these colors as well. These are some really pretty fall colors. Revolution, and like I said earlier, some people say they can pick that brand up in their local drugstore, but I'm going to consider this more on the high end side because I only could find this palette at Ulta Beauty. And what I like about this is these are really some pretty colors. Now this palette does have a little bit more fallout than my other palettes, and I wanted to mention that on these palettes at the bottom you can see like little names that they have for the colors, but for this one it's on the back, and I thought that was cute that the colors have their little names to them. Favorite eyeshadow palettes I do pick up from my local drugstore, and the first one is this little City Mini palette by Maybelline. This one is actually a really go-to palette for me. As you can see, I use these colors a lot. I love this pretty brown, and these I use for my lid and to highlight. They just really pretty. I love this palette. It's nice and affordable, and I can pick this up at my local drugstore. Another palette that I can pick up at my local drugstore, Walmart, anywhere, and that is this little palette by the brand F. These colors are so cute. I do use these a lot. This is actually one of my second palettes with these colors. If you can see, these are really pretty, and I do like to use these. And like I said, this is another palette that I had to pick up because that's how much I use this one as well. Last but not least, I wanted to share with you 3 mascaras that I use. Now, I don't wear the false eyelashes day to day. If I'm going to an event or for a wedding, I will apply some false lashes, but I just don't wear them on a regular basis. I just simply add some mascara. And so I wanted to share with you 3 mascaras that I use day to day. And the first one is Maybelline Colossal Big Shot. This is an all-time favorite. I'm going to always use this. And when I'm purchasing a mascara, what I'm looking for is how the brush looks. I want to make sure that the bristles on the brush is small enough to grab my eyelashes, and I like to see a little curve in the brush to give me a little bit more length to my eyelashes, so I won't have to wear any falsies. Another favorite is by Maybelline. Maybelline is just really great when it comes to mascaras. They have great formula, great brushes. I tend to always pick my eyelashes from the Maybelline collection, and right now one of my favorite is this Maybelline Snapscara. I've been using this one for a while now. I love the little curve in this brush. The application is so good, and it's shaped like your little eyelash, you know. So I am loving this. It's from L'Oreal, and it is the Lash Paradise. For my mascaras, I use black for my colors. This one I do have in black, but this particular one that I'm holding is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, but it has a little glitter in it. I thought this one was cute because I like to add a little glitter sometimes, and that's only depending on where I'm going. So I just brush on a little bit of glitter. So this one have a little gold in it, but I do have the one that has black. I'm not a big fan of the brush with this mascara, but what I like is the thickness of the actual product that's on the brush. It's thick, but it also glides easy. And that's another thing I'm looking for with mascaras. I don't like it to clunk up. And that's why I gravitate towards Maybelline mascaras, because they tend to have the thickness, but the thickness tends to glide. So you want to watch the formula in your mascara. Eyeliners. I use eyeliners for the lids of my eye. Okay, I have tried so many different eyeliners. I don't have 5 favorites. I use 2 different eyeliners, and I keep purchasing the same 2 because I am looking for that thin tip. I'm looking for that nice coverage. I'm looking for that nice glide. I don't have time to be working with no eyeliner going on right. I need to be like swoop and done. These 2 eyeliners does the job, and so I'm going to tell you these 2 brands. When it comes to my eyebrows, I only use one eyebrow gel, and that's L'Oreal Unbelievable Brow. Unbelievable Brow. I started using this last year. I'm not going to use anything else. Maybe later I'll start looking for something for my eyebrows, but no, not right now. This is it for me. This is all I'm going to purchase. If you have something that works great, any of these products that I'm sharing with you, if you have something that works great, leave it in a comment box below. I'll give it a try. I am a stickler about my eyebrows because I do not have time to spend a lot of time on them. The L'Oreal Unbelievable Brow is fantastic. It works for me, stays on all day, blends great, love it. That's all I'm going to use. I highly recommend it. I believe if you start using it, it's all you're going to use. When I do my makeup application video, you're going to see how I apply it. I love it. L'Oreal Unbelievable Brow is the brow gel that I use for my eyes, and I use a little brush with it. I'm going to just show you. It's on this little brush like this. I hope you can see it, and I just take another little brush to get it off, a really thin brush to brush it over my eyebrows. This is all I use. This is for my 2 everyday eyeliners. Maybelline Precise All Day eyeliner. This one is great, and these are liquid eyeliners, and as you can see, the tip is great. It does the job for you. It's just like swoop and I am done. I absolutely love it. I use the black color, and this does the job for me. The next eyeliner, which is the same just a different brand, but it gives me the same results. So I really don't care which one I grab. And this one is just really affordable. And this is the Wet n Wild Skinny Tip Eyeliner. As you can see, looks similar. Swoop does the same thing. That is it. When it comes to these two, this is all I use. I continue to replenish these. Don't care which one I grab. I'm sure there are so many more on the market. If you know any, leave them in a comment box below so I can check them out. Right now, I'm just sharing with you what I use. Move on to my powders. What I'm looking for in powders is definitely color match, because remember, your powders are going to be blending in with your foundation, so you want to make sure you find the right color match. With powders, I am definitely looking for powders that are really loose. When I say powders, I'm not talking about powder foundations. I'm talking about setting powders, loose powders, powders that you are going to use to set your makeup with. So I'm going to share with you the first two brands that's more on that high-end brand that I absolutely love. And the first one is Dermablend. I recommend this too. I just highly recommend this. Dermablend has this really great loose setting powder that I use all the time. I'm actually really low on this one, and that is the only reason why I'm using my other favorite fives, because they will work until I replenish this one. But highly recommend Dermablend. It has really great different color shades. It sets very well. It's very soft, silky, and I absolutely love it. Another one is by Morphe. This translucent setting powder is new to my collection. I haven't been using it for a long time. I do like the color match. It is pretty silky and it goes on smooth. I'm not a big bake and set person. I know people apply their concealer and then they apply their powder and let it bake by sitting for a minute and then brushing it off. That worked for me years ago. That don't work for me with my aging skin. It just tends to cause a lot of creasing. So I apply my powder and then I brush it off quickly. I don't let it sit for a long time. If your skin is still okay with baking, then great, because this Morphe is good for setting for a while and then brushing off. But for me, I add it in those T-zone areas under my eye, and then I go right in and brush it off, because like I said, the baking just doesn't work for me anymore. And also, I don't even have that much time to be baking, because I need to just get my makeup on and I need to get out. Powders are from my local drugstore. Love these. These are my to-go powders, and hands down favorite powder. If you didn't get any other powders, if you was on a budget, if you just had to choose one powder, then just pick up the Maybelline Fit Me. The Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder formula is fantastic. The funny thing is I have these in all different shades. I have a whole bunch of these because I just love it. Now, I do love their Dermablend, and I love the other ones that I use. But if all fails, just get the Maybelline Fit Me powder. You can't go wrong. The formula is great. Find the shade color that you like and you are good to go. This powder is so good that when I was talking about if I'm having a breakout and how I like to use just my concealer and my foundation powder, this is not a foundation powder. This is a loose finishing powder, but I can get away with using my concealer and the right shade of this loose finishing powder. That's why I have so many different colors of this. I highly recommend this. It's at your local drugstore. It's affordable, and this is actually a great Next one is this Milani translucent powder. I actually like this. This one is really nice. What I like about this one though is just the shade. The color is really pretty. Soft, really soft powder, blends really well. I absolutely love Milani products. I'm actually going to do a video on their products. I used to use their foundation, and I use some other products by them. Really good that I have to share with you today. I hope you enjoyed today's video just as much as I did. If so, please remember to give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't already done so, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to my channel because I would love to have you here. I just wanted to share with you some basic makeup products that I use day to day. I definitely want to extend this and share with you some brushes and sponges and things that I use to apply my makeup, as well as I want to share with you a makeup application video. If you know of any brands that I should give a try, or if you have tried any of these products that I shared today, let me know in the comment box below, along with any tips you may have. I am always looking for new things because I am always trying to stay lovely. And until next time, my friends, stay lovely, stay safe, so that I can see you in the next video.